Hi guys. I'm getting ready to cook what people call yellow rice. I got interested in it because I know when you go to restaurants, the Spanish rice, the refried rice, the yellow rice, and all that is so good. So I decided to make a small batch of it for my dinner tonight. But first of all, we got to chop some garlic, and I've got 3 of these cloves of garlic out of my garden. They came out of the green stalk tower. I didn't have much, but when I pulled it out, they look kind of dirty because they're not washed like they are in the store. But by the time I clean that off and break open the little sections, it'll be white, just like this piece is. And for the 1 cup of rice that I'm going to cook, which will make about 4 servings, I'm just using 3 of these little garlic cloves. That'll be plenty. Because that makes about a tablespoon of garlic. And I'm just going to put it right in that little container until I get ready for it. Second thing I'm going to do is cut up some onion. And it costs, the recipe, you can just use 1 medium-sized yellow or white onion. I'm going to use my onions out of the garden, and these are the walking onions that I'm going to use. And I'm going to use the root part and the top, the green part. And again, I do harvest some of my walking onions. I don't harvest all of them because I want them to come up the next year. But as many bulbs as I got to replant this year, I felt sure I could spare a few of my walking onions to cook. The roots as well as the tops. And they are kind of a strong onion. Couldn't quite cut through that. But they're not as bad as trying to cut up a regular yellow onion to me. I mean, sometimes it can be pretty bad. I mean, they do get strong. Woo! It's getting strong now. The more I go up this green stem, the stronger that onion gets. And that's probably enough right there. Woo, Lordy. So, I'm going to try to get that in that little container right there until I'm ready for it. Woo, goodness, that is a strong onion. But like I said, it's not doing me quite as bad as one of those white onions or yellow onions would do. Need another little thing. And I didn't buy any tomatoes. Well, I just had that tomato here. What did I do with it? Did it fall on the floor? Whoa, my eyes are burning. Well, And I do have a, I don't know what I did with my, little tomato. I just had it in my hand. Oh well. If you have a small tomato or Roma tomato, you can use that in your recipe. If not, you don't have to worry about it. And that poor bell pepper there just got cooked in the sun, so I'm not going to use it. I mean, in this heat, a lot of my vegetables are just, they're literally cooking on the plant. Well, for the life of me, I don't know what happened to my tomato. I just had a little bitty Roma tomato here and it's disappeared, but I don't have to have it. It's not mandatory. And I'm not even going to use all this bell pepper. I'm going to use part of it. If you have red bell pepper, that's fine too. It doesn't have to be a green one. As far as the flavor and the eye appeal of your dish, it's good to have green and red bell pepper. And there is 1,000,001 versions of yellow rice. Some of it is just the yellow rice itself with no vegetables added. Some people add peas. Some people don't even add the bell pepper. Some people will put in about 4 ounces of pimento, which I'm not going to do. But there's a lot of different versions of it. And I was going to put chicken in mine, but what I think I'm going to do is eat my chicken on the side. Because guess what? You know, sometimes I tell you I treat myself, and when I go pick up a little bit of groceries or whatever I'm going to get for the month, I will buy Walmart's cooked fried chicken that's still hot. Guess what? I got one of those packages of fried chicken today. First one I've gotten probably in 2 months. And it'll probably be another 2 months before I buy another one because they are pretty expensive. I mean, I could have got 20 pounds of chicken quarters for what I spent to get the fried chicken. But you know, I don't go out to eat hardly ever at all. So once in a while you have to treat yourself. So that was me treating myself, was getting that fried chicken. And we're just going to chop this bell pepper up kind of small to go in our dish. And like I said, you don't even have to put bell pepper in there. It's just your preference because a lot of people, a lot of the recipes don't even call for bell pepper. So it's totally up to you. But since I'm not putting the red bell pepper, I'm putting a little extra green bell pepper. Yeah, they called and gave us another heat warning today. You know, I told everybody that I'm on a system that calls when we have a tornado or storm warning or anything of that nature. And it's been calling me every day, telling me about the red flag warning, and that means excessive heat. It's basically warning people, you know, if you don't have to go out, stay inside. Because you don't want to be out in the yard doing anything because you don't realize it, but you heat up so fast, you can have heat stroke in a heartbeat. I had that out there for my little my tomato. But anyway, we're going to come over here with all this. Don't have much room. Let me move the camera. Because I kind of want you to see what I'm doing. And I'm going to go ahead and do the sauteing in that, and then I'll put it in my pot. But what I'm going to do is use about 3 tablespoons of butter. It's about 2. That's about 3. Don't have to be exact. Get that on. And what we're going to do is not only saute our onions and all this, but I have a cup of frozen vegetables. It's peas, carrots, and corn, and like a green bean. You can just use corn, or you can just use carrots, or you can just use peas and carrots. It's up to you. I've got a mixture, so I'm using it, a cup of it. First off, I'm putting my cup of rice right down in my pan. Because we're going to brown the rice just a tiny bit in this butter. Probably should have just put it in a pot, but then you can't see what I'm doing in a pot, so. Turn it up on high heat. I'm going to add my peppers. I'm going to add my onions. I'm going to add my garlic. I'm going to add about a spoonful of chicken bouillon. This was a new one. I didn't realize I hadn't opened this one yet. I'm going to add my vegetables. Kind of got a pan full, but I wanted to brown my rice just a little bit right along with everything else. And if you're doing this at home, you might want to just put it in your pot to do it instead of starting it out in a pan like I'm doing, because I'm just doing this to show you what I'm doing. Otherwise, I would have just put it in my big pot. Not this one, but a bigger pot. And to show you what I was doing. Now, at this point, you also want to add, I've got cumin, about a half a teaspoon of that. I've got turmeric, ground turmeric. I know this is new, so I'm going to have to pull the paper off the top. And I'm going to put about a teaspoon of turmeric in there. I'm going to put a couple of shakes of garlic powder. A couple of shakes of, couple of shakes of onion powder. And I didn't get oregano, but Italian seasoning has oregano. So I'm going to put just a little bit of the Italian seasoning in it to get that oregano in there. Now, I'm also going to put in a little bit of cilantro, dried cilantro leaves, because I didn't get fresh. I'm just going to use the powder. So, well, the dried cilantro. So I'm just going to stir this up. We want all those things to get mixed up. And I'm using parboiled rice. It's just a long grain white rice. It takes it a little bit less time to cook. You can use regular long grain rice. It doesn't matter. But the long grain rices do work the best for this. Now I'm going to see if I can get all of this in here. If you got a jalapeno pepper, you like it hot, put you some jalapeno in there. Or put you a little bit of red pepper flakes. In fact, I may just do that. I may just put a little bit. Oh well, I'm not. I'll wait till later. I don't really want it hot. Not pepper hot anyway. Now, instead of water, I'm going to add about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of chicken broth from a chicken that I cooked the other day. And it does have a little bit of chicken fat in there. But that's okay. I put 2 cups of that in there. Yeah, anytime I boil a chicken, or if I'm not going to be using that bouillon right at that time, or the broth, I save it and I cook with it later. Now I'm just going to mix this up good, bring it to a good boil. And then we'll see what else we do. Cinnamon. I'm looking for my pepper flakes. They're somewhere here. Nutmeg. Oops. But you know what? I can use some of my cowboy candy. I forgot about that. Because that is definitely jalapenos. And some of my cowboy candy that I'm probably not going to have any of this year to make, because I don't have any hot peppers growing out there right now like I did last year. So I'm going to put about a spoonful, because I don't want it hot, really spicy hot. Just a little bit is good. Now I'm going to bring that to a boil. And then we need to cook it for maybe 10-15 minutes. Normally like you would regular rice. I mean, you want to cook it till your rice is done, basically. And when you do that, everything is done. But this is why I didn't want to use a great big pot, because I'm only cooking 1 cup of rice, and this will make 4 pretty good size helpings. You know, I don't need to fix a great big pot full just for myself, so. And I do want to taste that for seasoning. That has such a good taste to it. I know this rice is going to be fantastic. And I'll let you get a glimpse of it cooking in the pot. Look how good that looks. And we'll bring it to a rapid boil. Turn the heat down a little bit. And then we're going to let it cook till the rice is done. Like I said, about 10-15 minutes. And normally I would pause the camera, but I'm not going to do it this time. It's not going to be that long. So we'll just go ahead and get it cooking. And that is going to be my dinner tonight. I'm having yellow rice, I'm having greens, and I'm having fried chicken. Sound good? Come eat with me. Okay, I'm going to turn it down on low. So I don't want it to run over. I'm going to go ahead and pull seeds out of this bell pepper and put them in this tray because I'm going to go throw them in the garden. Or I'm going to save the seeds, one or the other. Save them for next year. A lot of my bell pepper came up from the seed that I threw out in the garden this year. It was not the ones that I bought, it was just seed that I had from the peppers that I had cut. And if it had not been so hot, oh my God, I would have a ton of red bell pepper and yellow bell pepper and all that out there right now. It's just been so hot that it stunted its growth, basically. Let's see. I need one of them containers. I'm looking for something to put my bell pepper in, y'all. So just bear with me. I can put it in one of those flat ones. I can just cut it up a little bit. Because that's going to go in like a breakfast omelet or something for later this week. And a lot of people wonder how the yellow rice gets its yellow look. And it's just basically the ground turmeric. The ground turmeric, that one little spoonful of ground turmeric, is what gives your rice the yellow look. So, I'm going to be over here. If I can get this camera in the right spot. I'm just going to be right here cleaning up some of my mess. And see, this is what I did. I put the rest of my bell pepper in a container so I can put it in the vegetable bin in the refrigerator to keep it to go in another dish this week. So, one of my viewers asked me, why do you keep showing your burn up garden? I said, well, I keep showing it because a lot of people want to know how it's going, and you know, they might have the same problem I do. So I show it from time to time, right along with everything else that I do. Because that is basically what my channel is about. I mean, this is the worst growing season I've ever had living here. I've never had it this bad before. Even last year when it got up to like 113 a day or two, you know, it wasn't like that every single day. And we did get rain occasionally. It wasn't like it got, you know, extremely hot with no rain last year, because it didn't do that. I mean, this year has been extreme compared to the years in the past. So, but, you know, gardening is kind of like fishing. You don't know what you're going to get, really, because you can't predict one season from another what the weather's going to be like, or how the growing season is going to go. And it's just not been favorable this year. That doesn't mean every year will be that way. Hopefully not. Because I want to be able to grow vegetables in my backyard. Yeah, gradually I'll probably replace my 5-gallon buckets that I have compost tea in with those 32-gallon containers. Because you can save more water in less space with those than you can the buckets. So that's more than likely what I'm going to do. And the turmeric is why my cooking spoon, if you look at it, the spoon part of it is turned so yellow. The turmeric actually dyes it. It dyes your plastic cookware yellow. And it'll dye your dishcloth yellow too if it gets enough of it on there. So far I've been using mop water in the house to water plants. That's why I have a dish pan here, is I save all my dish water and I water my plants with it. Plants actually love it when you give them dish water because it has a little bit of the food particles in the water, almost like a compost tea. So they kind of like that. You just can't use Dawn soap. There's some dish soaps you cannot use if you're watering your plants with it. Because, you know, the Dawn dish soap will kill bugs, but it will also kill your plants if it's on there strong enough. So, do not recommend using Dawn dish soap to wash dishes with if you're going to water your plants with it. Now, Palmolive that I use, and it's just a cheap brand, I've used it for years and years and years. It's a mild enough soap. It gets your dishes clean, but it's a mild enough soap that it will not harm your plants. And that's one reason I use it. It says it's gentle on the planet. Biodegradable cleaning ingredients. Paraben and phosphates 0. Responsibly made. 100%. So, I mean, if you want a good dish soap, if you wash your dishes by hand and you want to water your plants, use this. If not, just use any kind you want. I mean, it doesn't matter. And I think I'll probably have enough of this broth in there that I don't need to add any more. Go ahead and put that up before it gets really hot. As I tell you, as hot as it is, even in the house with the AC running constantly, It gets so hot it doesn't take anything long to get hot sitting on the counter. And I'll have to get all these up. Might say that's a lot of spices. Well, yes, it is. But you don't use that much of each one. And I didn't use some of the spices that you can put in yellow rice. So. And I may even have to add water to it. I don't know. Okay, I had a bottle of water. Even being in the house in this hot weather, I'm constantly thirsty. I'm constantly wanting to drink water. But you know, that's a good thing because your body needs that water. Whew. Come over here and sit down just a minute while that rice cooks. Yeah, I know my garden looks bad, but I still got a lot of plants that are alive, and they may do something before the end of the summer if it ever cools off. If this record-breaking heat ever stops and we get a little bit of rain, you never know. So I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to just throw my hands up and let everything die. And as you can see, I've already replanted, especially the Swiss chard, because Swiss chard grows good here, even in this heat. If you keep it a little bit shaded, I mean, if it's like in an area under trees where it gets partial shade, but still does get sun, or even if you put a shade cloth up. As long as you keep it watered good, Swiss chard will grow and produce for you. Because I've been eating Swiss chard all summer, all winter actually. Because I've had some of it growing all winter and it's grown all summer, even in this heat. Now, if you leave it out in the broiling hot sun all day and it doesn't get enough water, those leaves will turn brown. So I suggest if you want Swiss chard, if you want to grow it, put it in a partial shady area. Whew, I am so hot. I'm sweating and I'm in the house with the AC blowing and I don't have anything going but the one burner. My clothes are sticking to me. Whew. It's hard to believe this is Friday. I mean, this week has just flown by to me. Whew. Yeah, I might fix dirty rice one day. I love dirty rice. I haven't fixed it in a long time. I think I've fixed Spanish rice more than I have any of it. And just plain rice. But I was completely out of turmeric. I had used all I had. So I had to run to the store this morning basically to pick up turmeric. Because you can't have yellow rice without turmeric. Or saffron, and I didn't have either one. Yeah, man, this weather has got to give. I mean, it's just unreal. It's just so hot out there, unless you're in the shade. And even in the shade, it's too hot to do anything outside. It's too hot to do anything inside. It's just too hot. Just too hot. Just too hot, y'all. And it's hard to believe that the day is already gone. It's dinner time, y'all. It's almost 5:30 p.m. Central Time. My day is gone. Just want to check on it. I don't want my water to completely boil out. Now, I'm going to show you what my dinner's going to be. Caught it just in time. But here it is, y'all. I've got, to get this camera right, I've got a good old piece of fried chicken, and I've got, look at that, dirty rice to go with it. That is going to be some good eating right there. That's my dinner. Y'all fix you some dirty rice, and you can have pork chops, fried chicken. You can even break up chicken, boiled chicken or grilled chicken, and mix it in with your rice and just make your rice be your meal. Or you can eat your chicken on the side like I'm going to do. So, I got to try the dirty rice. Don't that look good, y'all? Open up, take a bite. Take a bite, y'all. And you can put celery in it too if you want to. I chose not to. Mmm. Mmm. That is winning there, y'all. Fix you some yellow rice. And get you some fried chicken or a pork chop. Or like I said, you can break up your chicken in your rice and make your rice your meal. So, with that, try you some. It's an inexpensive meal to fix dirty rice. Rice is cheap. So with that, please like and share my videos. Y'all have a blessed evening. or day, and I will see you. I'm going to cough. This weather has to clear up, so my allergies will clear up a little bit. But let's try this again. Please like, share, and subscribe to my videos. Y'all have a blessed day. I will see you on my next one. Okay? Bye now.